excited to be sharing yet another interesting journey with you. This time around with Sargam Dhawan Bhayana, who's a dynamic entrepreneur redefining the intersection of beauty, wellness, and healthcare through her ventures. She started because her grandmom had a severe pain, and that's how she made her first pain oil, which she tells me more about. Today, she, at just 30, is making significant strides in the industry, leading the charge in luxury healthcare, high performance beauty solutions, and cutting edge nutraceuticals through her ventures, Tressmart and Planet Herbs Lifesciences. She tells me more about that wonderful journey that she's had, shares some really interesting insights for entrepreneurs of tomorrow, and of course, talks to me about her products and services as well. So go check out the episode. Until the next one, stay tuned. This is Karishma. I'll be back yet again. Tada. Thank you so much, Sargam, for joining me on this episode of Karishma Connect. I've already had a fantastic chat with you, and I can't wait to have another one, which actually is the purpose of how we met and how we are here today. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much, Karishma, for having me. The honor is truly all mine.
Thank you. Uh, to begin with, the first question I ask on this podcast is tell me about that wonderful journey so far. And you've had a rather interesting one, so please deep dive.
So I actually I'm born and brought up in Dehradun, and I did my schooling from Vellum Girls. After which I really fought with my parents to go and do filmmaking. They wanted me to do a business course, but I was like, no, I must do filmmaking. So I went to university at Buffalo in Singapore, went and did filmmaking, and I thought I wanted to be a director and join Bollywood. I love Bollywood. And then life just happens, and I don't know, just my directorship did not really work out. I went for 3 days, I quit my job. It was just something I didn't think I could manage or I could cope up with. And then I came back to Dehradun, and my father and grandfather were like, you have to work, you cannot sit at home. So you decide what you want to do, but you have to work, there's no sitting at home. And at the same time, my father had a chance meeting with the founders of Daphne, which is a hair straightening brush, and they were wanting to bring it to India. So my dad was like, because I've always been interested in beauty and wellness and all of that. So he said, okay, why don't you try this? So that's how I started my journey. And then again, like life happens, I took over my family business of pharmaceuticals. So it was actually a business no one was really looking after. We had a factory, but no one was really looking after it. And so I took it over, and I've never been happier. I never thought that something like pharmaceutical would be my calling, because it was something that I didn't even know I enjoyed medicines or learning about medicines and herbs and all that. But pharmaceutical really was my true calling. And I tell this even to my sister now, she's much younger, that till you don't try, you never know. Because I studied to be a director, and I thought I enjoyed that, but actually what I'm really enjoying is far from Bollywood and movies. And yeah, so I just think life happens, and God puts you through many paths until you reach what you really like. I would have never joined pharmaceutical if it was my way, but it was just something that my father and grandfather said, give it a try. If you don't like it, we'll think of something else, or we'll see what else you can do. So but I love it, and that's just a little bit about how I started, uh, basically.
Journey. Taking on from a family business and taking on and kind of making it your own, especially because when you say that you wanted to be somewhere else, and there's that feeling that I can't express in words, but I'm sure you get it. How did you navigate?
I think firstly, when I joined the family business, I joined feeling a lot of pressure because I really wanted to prove myself. Because I just felt like I didn't want to disappoint anybody, because I had already not done what I had studied, and then I went and did some beauty thing which I didn't want to do anymore. So first, I walked in with a lot of pressure, because I was like, okay, I don't want everybody to feel that I quit everything. Um, so that was one thing. But the thing that really helped me navigate through this entire thing was just being at it and being stubborn and learning along the way. I used to keep doing courses, I used to keep learning from my seniors at work, from people who had worked in the factory. Uh, And I think what truly helped me was just being at it and not quitting and saying, okay, I'm going to make it, I am going to learn, I'll do whatever it takes. So it's definitely been a tough journey, but it's been a rewarding one.
And would you say that that is what actually contributed to you achieving so much at such a young age, you know, and actually becoming like 30 under 30, all of that?
I think so. I think so. Also, there was this. So I'm sure a lot of other girls also face this. That's why I was much younger than people who had worked in the factory. So nobody would want to take me seriously. Nobody, because they were just like, whatever. She's come here to, while away her time. And then the people I would meet for meetings and all were again much senior than me, and they were mostly men. So again, they wouldn't want to talk to me. So it was also this place of that, okay, no, I'm going to prove myself and I am going to sit on a table where people are going to listen to me. I think the achievement came as a side, like a side path, but by real, what I really wanted to do was that when I sit on a table, people are listening to me, they respect me. It is not just because, I'm the boss's daughter, or it's not a hobby for me. I really wanted to prove I've not come to do a hobby. It's not whiling away my time. I want to build this company. I want to build myself. And when I sit in a room, I demand that respect. So it was just the need to prove myself, and the achievement just came as a side path or a side. They were like the added bonus.
I'm going to come back to what you do now and ask you what excited you when you entered the pharmaceutical side, because it's not something that everybody every day enters. It's something that people really put thought into before they make that their career trajectory. What did what excited you about it, and what were you kind of wanting once you got to know the field? What are some of the things that you saw as an opportunity to change?
So I'll speak about this in terms of just Planet Herbs, which is my company. So when I entered, it was a brand new field for me. I had no clue. What really excited me was, so my grandmother had really bad joint pain, and I was like, okay, we maybe formulated this oil. I said, okay, try it. And she couldn't walk up the stairs. And then after 4 or 5 days, she called me to her room and she was like, Sargam, मेरे को बहुत आराम आया. And just that feeling that I was able to do something and help somebody like that is really what I was like, okay, it, I can do this, I can help more people. So as as cliche as it sounds, but what really excited me was that I have the power to somewhere heal somebody in some way. So that's what really. So actually it was my grandmother, because the light in her eyes when she said मेरे को बहुत आराम आया, and I was like, wow, like I can actually do this for so many people. So that's what really excited me about this journey. And then I started feeling that um, we were not marketing enough, we were not reaching out to people. Everybody was so comfortable, nobody was really looking after the factory per se. So we were not marketing the products, they were not reaching the people. So my biggest um goal when I entered, I was like, okay, I need to build a setup where we need to market. And right now we were working in a very traditional way, that there are MRs who go, they go to doctors, they go to Ayurvedic doctors will subscribe. So I was like, no, we need to set up an e-commerce sort of a setup. And I started this and COVID hit. So I was like, okay, I don't know. Maybe I've just burnt money down the drain, because I literally started my website in January, and March COVID hit. And uh, when it hit, I thought India is going to be shut for 10 days and everything will go back to normal. And then it was just never ending. And till then, I had invested all the money and the stocks and everything. So I was just like, okay, I think I made a big mistake, and maybe the traditional way was the better way to go. Because for 3 years, all my stocks went down the drain, all my courier boxes went down the drain, because there were no couriers going, there was nothing happening. Uh, and now that since last year we started picking up again, uh, I feel maybe the decision wasn't so bad to, uh, you know, now no, I really thought that time I made a big mistake. And what I wanted to change in the company, I thought maybe I'm not as smart as I thought I was, and this was not something that needed to be changed because a lot of money had gone in, and obviously all the stocks then had to be thrown, everything had to be thrown. So yeah, I really wanted to change and come into the e-commerce space, but it was a disaster. But now that I see things are taking place, and things have touch wood, they're working very well. So maybe my decision of changing this into a more technology driven today, I wanted to make it a company of today, not a company of 20 years back. But I see it now. If you'd asked me the same question 2 years back, I would be like, I don't know what I'm doing. I have no clue what I've just done, because I could see no light at the end of the tunnel, because it was just a disaster.
And tell me about Planet Herbs. Tell me about, of course, you've already hinted at the oil. Tell me about what you do and what's in it for people.
So Planet Herbs is a herbal and Ayurvedic company. It was established 20 years ago, and we used to be contract manufacturer for a lot of companies like Sun Pharma, Alva David, and a lot of those. Uh, about 5 or 6 years back, we started our own range of products, and we actually started with a medicine which I really put my brain into. It was a anti-hangover tablet. So, so that was yeah. So I was very invested in that. So we started with that, and then we built a whole range of products. So all our products are Ayurvedic, fully heavy metal and pesticide free. And I think what sets us apart is that we also grow our own herbs in our own greenhouse. So right from what goes inside the medicine until the production is controlled, seen by us, that otherwise we don't know, like someone may be growing herbs or oils, taking out oils in whichever way, I don't know. I like to keep it in control, so everything is in house. We grow our own herbs, we take out our own oils, and we manufacture everything ourselves. And uh, what the audience that I always wanted to reach out to actually were people in villages and people in smaller towns, because I feel they are the ones who have less access. I come from a small town. um there's so much potential in these smaller towns and cities, and I just feel companies are not doing enough to reach out to them. So my entire aim with Planet Herbs has always been that I'm going to reach out uh, to people who need reaching out to.
Anything like that comes with its own pressure of, time in the in the supply chain. It always comes with the pressure of time management, eventually taking it from, say, a farm to the sort of the counter. How have you navigated that journey as well? Because, as you said, rightfully so, there is an intent that is pure, there is also profitability involved. So what has been your hack to, kind of building that?
I feel, firstly, anything that you start with a good intention, there is always that positivity you start with. There is the first step towards doing anything is having good intention, that okay, yes, I am building a business and I do want profitability, but I'm not going to do it the wrong way, or I'm not going to harm people on the way. Secondly, where my factory is, it's actually outside a village in Dehradun. So we started hiring local farmers, local people. We set up so we actually have our own training school, where we first get women from the village, we train them in our school, and then we employ them in our factory. So uh, I literally wanted to control everything, I wanted to help, but I wanted to control everything. So I think just navigating with a good intention has honestly really helped. And just, involving the local people, because they know best. Even like, yes, there was a delay in supply chain, because there was some herbs which India is not made for, they were not growing in India and all. So we had to set up, greenhouses. That was a delay, and then production would get delayed, and then obviously shipments were not going out on time. But those were just teething processes, which is when I realized, the more local farmers I was getting, the easier it started becoming. And I had hired people from outside, the scientists and all, they were able to do nothing. The only people who have actually helped me are actually people who understand, who really work on the field. So I think just good intention and really getting the people who know the work best involved. And also, I feel what has helped me a lot is just understanding the fact that I don't know everything and I can't do everything, and it is okay to ask for help. And I'm very, very young, so I barely know anything actually, and just learning and asking for help. No egos, nothing. So yeah, and in fact, Planet Herbs is a 95% women run company, so we have 111 employees, out of which 101 are women. So that was also something I was like, no, I'm only going to put women because I've I mean because I felt so underrepresented, or undervalued, that I was like, no, why should any woman feel like that? So the entire factory is actually run by women from the village right next to our factory.
So I'd asked this question to one of my guests on the podcast. She also works with the farmers. She was working in basically agri tech. And I asked her, I said, you work with the farmers, so what do you feel about what can we as city sort of dwellers learn from their life and the way they kind of conduct themselves? And she mentioned a very interesting note with me that actually stuck with me. She said that they have the capacity to be slow. They have the capacity, the patience to see life through a lens where pause is good, and there is something in that pause that actually reaps greater benefits than this rush that we all live in. Since you spoke about working with them, I want to know what is the kind of, it could be something that you learned about business, it could be something that you learned about life. What is something that you can share from the greens that can be applied to this rush that we all live in?
You know, your guest put it so well, that this is actually something to learn from them. And now that I'm putting my brain to it and repeating what you just said, it's actually so true what she said. Uh, then I don't know, just the discipline, but yet they're not running. They're comfortable where they are. They're disciplined. They're doing what is required. They work hard, I think, more than any of us ever work hard. Yet they have time for their family. Yet they have time to relax. Yet they so um, I don't know how. I mean, I myself have no work life balance. But what you're asking me, that what is something all of us can learn from them, because we're always living in a rush, is just the discipline actually. I think the discipline they've maintained in their life is why they're able to do everything. And we most of us just concentrate on working and go on that path. There is no discipline, there is nothing. I have seen, so um, they come to our factory opens at 8:45. They come in the morning. At 11, if it's tea time, 11 is tea time, 1 p.m. is lunch time. It is so fixed. Come what may, they will get up at 1 and say, Hamara lunch time ho gaya. So I think all of us should learn a bit of discipline from them and a bit of work life balance. They work the hardest, yet they have the best balance, I feel, at least with the people who work with me. They're so fixed, like, and they come at 8:45, but they also leave at 6 p.m. It is not that I mean we're working till 6:30. No, it's 8:45 dot, they're in factory, and 6 p.m. they're out. So I think just sort of maintaining a discipline and learning to set a boundary, because all of us are just rushing in life. uh, Everything is a race.
So much of competition around, and it's not just competition from like the big wigs, it's also the competition from your own and you're operating in a land that is India, where there's competition everywhere. And there's also, now you wanting to take the step globally. Tell me about that. How do you plan to navigate that? Point number one. Point number two, what excites you about it? What are you trying to achieve out of it, and where all do you plan to expand?
So currently we're expanding into UAE, Sri Lanka, Nepal, and USA. Which we've just set up an office in UAE, in Dubai. I told you I love Dubai. So I think what has really helped us is getting the right partners on board, to understand the market firstly, to understand the kind of customers we're trying to target. You cannot target everybody. So just narrowing down to the type of people we are catering to, the type of clientele we're trying to build, and getting the right partners in each country. because without them I don't think this can be possible at all, because anyone who lives in a country truly understands how that country functions. I may love Dubai and I may love Nepal, but I don't know how it works. What really excites me is just the opportunity to reach out to more people. And also it's like a challenge because I understand India but I don't understand those countries. So it's like a challenge that okay, now it's something new I get to do, it's something new I get to learn. um so yeah, that's why we are expanding currently. We're setting up our next office in Nepal in the next 6 months, hopefully. Um, and yeah, basically that. And obviously, I get to travel a lot. So that's a very exciting part of trying to expand, because I just get to travel whenever I want to, and I say it's for work. We are going to start now in UAE. We are going to be available in pharmacies in Sharjah, in Dubai, in Fujairah, Ras Al Khaimah, all the areas, yeah, all the Emirates. So I hope we can replicate this model to many, many other countries going forward. After UAE is a success, I hope so.
Tell me, what do you think is the future of high performance beauty products? Where do you think this is all headed? And also, how would you describe the whole idea of luxury, especially because you say you're branching into the UAE, and the luxury is like the buzzword right now here.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
How
And UAE is the hub of
half
luxury.
of it. So how do you sort of navigate that, and what are you like? What do you understand as the evolution that has happened in the concept of luxury, and where do you think it's headed for your industry?
So I feel luxury is a very, very subjective term. Uh, but what I take of luxury in terms of the pharmaceutical, or actually in terms of any industry, I feel now luxury is not just about a price tag. It is about personalization, it is about customer service, it is about making your customer feel like they are your priority. So that's what I feel luxury is. And even the consumer has become, it's all about the experience. Let's put it that way. It's not about how expensive something is, or how not expensive something is. I think it's about an experience and what you are actually delivering. This could be in terms of something as little as a pain relief oil, right, to a very expensive bag. It's all about how you make your customer feel. And the customer now has become, the consumer has become so, they read, they're educated people. So they themselves demand you to make them believe that okay, this is a good product, or this is going to work. So for me personally, luxury, the idea of luxury has changed from just being a price tag to really personalization, customer service, and really building an experience. And in terms of where this is going for the beauty industry or the healthcare industry, I just think everybody now wants science backed products but with sustainability. So I think that's where our industry is heading, where we can merge science and sustainability together. And which is what we aim to do, that we are trying to bring back the practice of Ayurveda and Ayurvedic medicines, but backed by scientific claims.
How do you still suggest that entrepreneurs remain relevant, innovative, and kind of provide something that is different from the rest? What have you kind of figured out about that?
So I think just being curious and trying to learn all the time, which is what I would tell other entrepreneurs also, that don't lose your curiosity, because once that is gone, then there is no way for your business to grow, because to grow you need to be curious, which is how you learn. So, and it's a very fast paced world, and with technology is literally taking over our lives, so we need to be very quick.
Very true. I want to ask you one more thing, just because you mentioned technology. Have you seen technological advancement and AI development kind of integrate itself within the sort of network that you're working in? Uh, and especially because you're in a niche business, because you're doing something that is not the mainstream consumer sort of industry. Have you seen the support of AI and technology development everywhere, or how have you rather integrated that within your business, if you have?
Something so small. We were actually formulating, like I mentioned, we do contract manufacturing, and we were trying to formulate a hair mask for somebody. And I was just not getting the ingredients right, and whatever we were doing, the hair mask was sort of splitting up. So water was alag and the ingredients, and we couldn't understand what we were doing wrong. I actually just asked ChatGPT, and I literally just sat. I said, okay, give me 2 minutes. I put it on Chat GPT that this is what I've done and this is what I'm facing. And instantly, Chat GPT gave me like this ingredient list and how to go about it. We sent the mask the next day. We made it according to that and it was approved in one go. So just something as small as, Chat GPT, uh, it just happened with us last week. And the ingredient that we were mixing up was something as simple as rice water. We needed to put rice water, we were putting regular water, so it was splitting up. It was just, but it took me 2 seconds on Chat GPT, and Chat GPT gave me, okay, change this with this and you'll be fine, and I was. In fact, even for UAE, we actually found our distributors through there's an AI platform that we were using that connects you. So it's like this virtual a website that connects you to partners. So there is nobody really behind the camera. So you're talking to, I think, bots or robots. I don't know. And we've set up Nepal, Sri Lanka, and UAE simply based through that website. I think technology is everywhere, and it's helping me with formulation. It's helping me getting this partners. So yeah, we use it all the time.
I've had a lovely time getting to know you. Thank you.
So thank you so much again for having me, and I look forward to seeing you soon.